going on, guys, and welcome back to the next video in our OBS Masterclass series for 2026. And this video is going to focus mainly on recording settings, right? So if you guys are trying to record videos to upload to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever it is that you're posting, this is going to be the video for you. Your videos are going to look nice and crispy and have that professional feel to them. But before we do that, before we jump into that, if you guys are also streamers or if you want to add some graphics to your recordings within OBS, you guys got to check out the sponsor for today's video, Owned.tv. Owned.tv is your one-stop shop for fresh new graphics for your stream. Whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, or Kick, you'll find something that's a perfect fit for your channel. They offer full themed overlay packages, which are great if you're trying to give your stream a complete makeover, but let's say you're looking to pick up some new alert graphics, don't worry, because they've got you covered there too. You could find single graphics such as alerts, emotes, banners, panels, and logos as well. And one of the best parts about these overlays is that they are completely modular. So if you and your friends all pick up the same overlay, such as this Rodan one right here, you could change the colors and tweak it to match your brand, and none of you will have the exact same overlay. If you're looking to take your stream to the next level, be sure to check out Own.tv using my link below to support the channel. And don't forget, use code HAMMER at checkout for an additional 50% off your order. Now, back to the video. Okay, so now we are back. I have my OBS visible on screen for you guys. I have a specific scene collection selected so that you guys can see basically everything that you need to see without being confused. So the first thing we're going to do is head on down to the bottom right and we're going to click on our settings. That's going to pull this up over here. So in this general tab, there's really nothing here that's going to affect your recordings at all, so I wouldn't worry about it one bit. In the appearance tab, again, this is just the appearance of OBS. It changes how it looks to you on your end. You can mess with this if you want. And then we're going to come down here, the streaming tab. Again, nothing here that's going to impact your recordings whatsoever. There's no recording settings here. But now we're going to get into the bulk of these settings here in the output tab. So once you come over to the output tab, make sure at the top where it says output mode, you select advanced. This is going to unlock a bunch of settings that you normally wouldn't be able to see. So change this to advanced, and then we're going to head over to the recording tab right here in the middle. Now, as you're looking at mine, since I'm currently recording, most of this stuff is going to be grayed out because I can't change these settings while we are recording. But for you, you're going to be able to change all these settings. So one of the most important things here is going to be your recording path. This is where your recordings are saved to or stored when you hit stop recording after you're done recording. So select where you want your recordings to go. Then we're going to come down here to recording format. And for recording format, I want you guys to put something different than I have here. I use MP4 for a very specific reason, but most people should be recording in MKV. So select MKV there, and don't worry, it's going to turn into an MP4 later on with no work, and I'm going to show you that setting here in OBS. So select MKV for your recording format, and your video encoder, this is where you're going to have to kind of decide what you want to use. You're going to have multiple choices here. So if you're using an NVIDIA GPU, I suggest using the NVIDIA NVENC H.264 encoder. If you're using an AMD GPU, use the AMD equivalent. If you have a more powerful CPU than graphics card, you're going to want to use X264. So that is the difference there. The X264 encoder uses your processor, your CPU, to encode, and the NVIDIA and AMD equivalents obviously use your graphics card. As for your audio encoder, you could leave it on whatever the default is. That's completely fine. As your audio track, you're going to set this to 1. As for rescale output, you're going to keep this disabled here. If you did want to rescale your recordings, I'm going to show you how to do that in a later portion of the video in a different spot in OBS. For custom muxer settings, I have nothing here for automatic file splitting. And then we're getting down into the meat and potatoes of this, right? So as for your actual encoders settings, so I record using CQP, which is a constant QP. I set my constant QP to 16. Now, keep in mind, copying my exact settings, these are going to be massive file sizes, like really, really big, especially if you're recording in 2K or 4K like me. So what you want to do here is find a good balance. If you're doing like longer videos, longer than 10 minutes, I would suggest putting your constant QP to like 20. It's not going to be that big of a visible difference between 16 and 20. The lower this number goes, the bigger the file size is going to be, but the better the quality is going to be. But I've noticed that pretty much 20 to 16 is a very minimal difference, but a massive file size difference. So my opinion and my advice to you guys would be is if you're recording more than 10-minute long videos, I would suggest using like 20 constant QP or even 18, depending on how much space you have and where you're recording these videos too. As for your keyframe interval, you're going to set this to 2 seconds. Preset, I have mine set to P7, slowest, which is the best quality. But again, you could take this and drop it down to P6, P5 without really seeing that much of a difference, but it'll free up more resources on your PC. So if your PC is chugging and really working really hard at P7, feel free to lower it down to like P5, and you probably won't see that much of a difference, but it will free up a lot of those resources. As for tuning, set your tuning to high quality, multipass mode. I have mine set to 2 passes full resolution, but to be completely honest, you can do 2 passes quarter resolution, again, without seeing that much of a difference. Profile is set to high, look ahead is unchecked, adaptive quantization checked, B-frame set to 2, and no custom encoder options. Coming on down to the audio tab, this is where you're going to set up the audio for your recordings, right? If you're using a gaming headset and a gaming microphone attached to it, that's what you're going to select here. For the desktop audio device, it's going to be your headphones. For the mic auxiliary audio, you're going to select that microphone. If you have a standalone microphone, you're going to select that. If you're using speakers, you're going to put that here in the desktop audio section. Not really anything crazy that needs to go on here in terms of just setting up how you want to hear and record your audio. In the video tab, though, this is another part that's kind of important. So here in the video tab, you have a few options, but these options are really important. For your base canvas resolution, this is going to be what your main screen is at, what you're gaming at, what you're viewing, your browser at, whatever it is that you're recording. That's going to be your base canvas resolution. If you have a 2K monitor, set it to 2560 by 1440 or whatever the resolution of your monitor is, right? It could be different. For your output scaled resolution, if you wanted to downscale your recordings to 1080p or 720p, that is where you would put that in here. For the output scaled resolution, you would select whatever resolution you want your actual recording to be. Now, if you do downscale from what your main screen is at, you'll unlock these downscale filters. You'll be able to change them here. And what I want you guys to do is use the Lanczos option. It is going to be the best and most crispy and clear option for you. For your common FPS values, here is where you set the FPS of your recording. I'm recording in 60 FPS, thus I have 60 put in there. If you want to record at 30 FPS, you could do that as well. Just change that right here. Other than that, you have the hotkeys section here in OBS where you can pretty much bind any function within OBS to keys on your keyboard or wherever you want to bind them. Accessibility, nothing here that's going to affect your recordings. But remember earlier when I told you guys to record in MKV? Well, this is where that comes into play. You're going to go to the Advanced tab, and you're going to scroll down here, and you're going to check this box that says automatically remux to MP4. And it says in parentheses, record as MKV. So what this actually does, let me give you guys a little bit of a history lesson here real quick. If you record as an MP4 like I'm doing right now, if I were to blue screen or get an error, it corrupts my whole recording and then I have to start over from scratch. If you record as an MKV file and have this box checked, it automatically remux to MP4, it will save wherever you were at, so you won't have to start from the beginning. The only reason I record in MP4 is because these videos are very short, simple, and quick. So for anyone doing any longer recordings, I highly suggest you record in MKV format and check this box that says automatically remux to MP4. That means as soon as you hit stop recording, it turns it into an MP4. And if you were to get a blue screen or you would get an error message or something happened, your encoder got overloaded or something and it starts getting all choppy, it would save that whole file up until the point where it got corrupt. So you would not have to start from the beginning. So very important that not a lot of people actually know that. But aside from that, that's pretty much everything. These settings are going to make your recordings look beautiful. My recordings, when I first started doing this, I was learning a lot and trying to figure out why do other people's recordings look so crispy and so clean compared to mine. And this is one major thing. Another major thing is uploading to YouTube. When you upload to YouTube, if your file is in 2K resolution, it actually will retain more quality than a 1080p file because on YouTube's end, I don't know the exact science about it, but it gets uploaded in a different way. Maybe they use a different encoder for it, which is probably what it is. So if you really are struggling with quality, try recording in 2K, and it will probably push it to be encoded even better. Even if you're not gaming in 2K or whatever, try forcing your recordings to 2K, and you might have some serious success with cleaning up some of that, pixelation and maybe the little bit of blurriness in your recordings. But if you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful, hit the like button, comment down below if you have any questions whatsoever, and thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.